Hi, my name is Autumn Westfall. I'm the Deputy Head of Teacher Training at Rennert, and today I'd like to talk to you about using movie trailers in your lessons. The materials and the ideas in today's presentation come from a presentation I attended at the 2014 International TESOL Conference by Stephanie Johnson and Vicki Melos.
So, why use movie trailers in your classroom? As you can see, there are quite a few benefits to using authentic materials in your classroom. It's fun, interesting, motivating. It exposes students to different cultural situations, different accents, different styles of speaking, different language. Using a movie trailer rather than an entire movie can be easier because it's shorter, it's free, it's readily accessible, and they're often current. Now I'd like to talk about some ways that you can use movie trailers to help your students develop and practice language. Movie trailers present a great way to help you integrate skills in one lesson. So you can teach vocabulary and listening at the same time, or vocabulary, listening, and grammar at the same time, or listening, pronunciation, and writing at the same time. So a few ways that movie trailers can be used to develop vocabulary. You can find a trailer that has vocabulary that you want to teach in it, so the movie trailer helps them practice and encounter new words, idioms, slang, theme-based vocabulary from a specific movie genre. You can also maybe find contextual groups of vocabulary within the trailer, or perhaps the students use a contextual group of vocabulary to talk about the trailer after watching it. It can also be a great chance to analyze natural speech for common collocations, so that students are learning and retaining vocabulary and helpful retrievable chunks of language. For grammar, I would choose a trailer that can either focus on your grammar point from the textbook, as in it has the grammar point in it, or the grammar point from the textbook can be used to talk about the trailer after watching it. In terms of speaking skills, there are so many speaking skills the students can develop by talking about a movie trailer or talking about the movie trailer before, during, or after the movie trailer, like paraphrasing, summarizing, interpretation, inference, prediction. There are so many different speaking skills that they can develop. So now let's talk about the steps you would follow to plan a lesson with a movie trailer. Step one would be to identify the language students will develop in the lesson, and of course make your lesson objectives. Connect the language and skills to the topic or theme of your unit and the objectives that your school may have already provided. This can help you save time and really integrate a fun, authentic material like a movie trailer with what you are doing in your course book. Here at Rennert, our objectives are called can-do statements, so that's why that says that right there. Now, you may find that step one and step two, find a trailer, happen a little bit at the same time, because you might identify the language and skills and then look for a trailer that has that, or you may watch a bunch of trailers and find some that fit with your course book. So step one, identify the language and skills, and step two, find a trailer, sometimes happen at the same time. Step three, of course, the meatiest step, is to plan your lesson. It really helps to keep in mind the pre, during, post structure of organizing a receptive skills lesson, and then plug in fun writing and speaking tasks into the pre, or post part of the lesson. You can also integrate them into the during part of the lesson as well, but it helps to structure it in that way so that you are, of course, scaffolding the students listening, but also able to integrate a bunch of other activities and skills at the same time. And finally, the last step is, of course, teach your lesson and have a lot of fun. After teaching your lesson, it can be a really good idea to get some feedback from the students in terms of what they liked about using the movie trailer, what they thought was really helpful, and maybe some suggestions they have for the future. Maybe there are other movie trailers that they would like to watch, or some specific genres that they would like to focus on. So consider getting your students' feedback as well after you try this out to see what type of movie trailer you should use next. Step 1, identify the language and skills. So I see this as having two options. You can either start with the language and skills that you want to teach, and then find a movie trailer that matches up with that. But you could also watch a lot of movie trailers and identify the language or grammar or different skills that you want in a variety of movie trailers, and then narrow that down. Either way, you're going to be identifying the language and skills either as you are choosing the movie trailer or before you choose the movie trailer. So sometimes step 1 and step 2 can get a little bit mixed together. So as I mentioned in the last slide, you might be finding a trailer at the same time that you're identifying your skills and creating your objectives. What I want to demonstrate in this slide is that there are a lot of places online that you can find a lot of movie trailers for free. There's trailers.apple.com. You do need QuickTime in order to access this website. So if you don't have QuickTime, you can always go to YouTube, Fandango, Hulu, movietickets.com. These are all great places to see the most up-to-date trailers for free. Now, just keep in mind that Hulu does have a paid option, but the majority of their movie trailers are all free. Now, I know that one of the greatest challenges for teachers in terms of incorporating technology into their class is that they may not have reliable internet access. So there are two ways of getting around this. The first way is kind of the flip your classroom way, which means you would do the pre-stage of your lesson in class, and then the students would do the during stage of the lesson at home, and then you would do feedback on the during stage and the post stage of the lesson in class. So the students would be watching the video at home or on their mobile device or however they wanted to. Option 2 is having the video in class, but downloading the video so that you don't have to rely on the internet in order to access the video. I'm going to talk about a couple programs you can use for that in the next slide. So two programs that I've used to capture videos from the internet are keepvid.com and freecorder.com. One thing to be aware of is that sometimes your computer can download a lot of spyware when you get a program like this, so just keep an eye on it. And also keep in mind that, in my opinion, freecorder.com works best with Firefox. So this brings us to step 3, the plan your lesson part, and definitely, I think, probably the step that can take the most time. So remember that you'll be planning an integrated skills lesson, but pre, during, post, which is usually used for teaching reading skills or listening skills, can be really helpful in terms of framing the structure of the lesson. Next up, we have the during trailer activities. These activities will happen while they watch the trailer, typically following the TPS interaction pattern, which would be think, pair, share. So they would listen alone and find answers, and then compare with a partner, and then share with the whole class. However, you may find that some of the activities you want them to do together as they listen, and then you would skip the think alone part. It's really up to you. So either way, these during activities are going to relate to your target skills objectives, what listening skills your students are developing, what other skills your students are developing, writing skills, pronunciation skills, grammar, vocabulary, speaking. These will often get incorporated into this stage and into the post stage. Make sure you plan for multiple listenings. Make sure your first listening activity focuses on either checking predictions that you did in the pre-stage and or getting the general idea. So if you have pronunciation focused or grammar or vocabulary focused activities that have them listening for more detail, just make sure they're able to do a global listening first so that they actually have a bit of comprehension and schema to build on as they get to deeper and deeper details about the movie and the trailer and about the target skills that you're teaching. And just as a final thing, I know I've mentioned it before, but see this stage as a chance to practice listening and practice your target structures. A lot of practice should happen during this part of your lesson. Lastly, we have the post-trailer activities, which present another great opportunity for practice of their target structures and in terms of grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. This is also a great time in your lesson to integrate skills. So I would suggest doing 1 to 2 post-trailer activities in class, but also consider assigning post-trailer activities for homework that then you can refer to at the beginning of the next class to continue with the topic and to maybe even more smoothly integrate the trailer with the topics or themes in your course book. So a few ideas. You can get very active with it and do role plays of the scenes that they watched in the trailer. You can have them predict what will happen next or try some genre writing in terms of writing scenes or dialogues and then have them act them out as well. You can also have simple spoken discussions focusing on a variety of topics or skills like paraphrasing or interpretation. The post time is also a great chance to practice some extensive writing in terms of genre writing, writing movie reviews. You can also have them do a spoken summary and then do a written summary. So there are a lot of different things and a lot of different ideas that you can use during the post stage of the lesson. The most important thing is to just be creative and do something that you think will be helpful for your students and that they will enjoy. So now we're at the last stage, which is step 4, teach your lesson. I don't have too much guidance for you here because whatever is going to happen when you're teaching. Just really make sure that you are keeping your skills and objectives in mind as you are teaching and making sure that the movie trailer is really helping your students meet those objectives and develop those target skills. And then don't forget to get your students' feedback in terms of what they liked about using movie trailers in the lesson, and are there any other trailers that they would like or any movies that they're looking forward to in the future. So then you can consider how you can build those trailers into the topics and the language skills that you are developing through your course book. Also keep in mind the longer application for this. Perhaps eventually you will have your students watch the full movie, either in class or either for homework, that then can lead to practice and production of target grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, writing, etc. later on, in potentially talking about how the trailer affected their opinion of the movie, or if the trailer didn't accurately reflect what happened in the movie. There's a lot of potential for